What's up, guys? I got an interesting submission from a guy named Jake M in Oregon. He writes, I set up this trail camera to keep an eye on some old cabins I inherited from my grandfather. There's been some vandalism issues lately. Been checking the footage weekly, and most of it's just deer and raccoons and some random birds. But this one clip from last Tuesday night has me and my family pretty freaked out. Before I get into it, I'm not saying this is Bigfoot or anything crazy like that. I know how these things usually turn out. But I tell you, I've lived in these woods my whole life, and I can't figure out what I'm looking at here. The way it's standing, the size of it, it just does not feel right to me. The only thing that I've really been able to come up with is that someone found my cameras and it's just playing a trick. Anyhow, I thought maybe your audience might have some ideas. I've enhanced the image as much as I could without making it worse. It is pretty pixelated, but it's the best I got. Well, Dreadheads, what do we have here? What did my man Jake capture? Personally, I'm with Jake. I'm stumped too. Does anyone have any idea what this could be? Now, when you pass a garbage truck, you expect trash in the hopper, but not a pair of living legs. This next eerie clip comes from a garbage man doing his early morning rounds. Around 4 a.m. in a quiet neighborhood, he parked his truck as usual, got out to collect the bins, and walked back expecting nothing out of the ordinary. But what he saw almost gave him a heart attack. Inside the hopper, where the garbage gets compacted, there appeared to be a person. And I'll just say, it looks disturbingly real. I mean, we don't hear a face, we don't have a voice, the figure never lifts its head, but something's moving. One good point I heard is that it could be a drugged or just an unstable individual who climbed in there. Others suggested it was a prank taken way too far. And of course, I think there's the theory that we're all thinking of, is that someone was in a trash bin when it was thrown in there. Now, I don't know how realistic that is, but at this rate, anything feels possible. The clip cuts off before we see what happened next. And a YouTuber actually looked to see, but there was no 911 call report. Just this footage. So what say you guys? Dangerous stunt, something not quite human, just a poor human stuck in a trash truck. As you know on this channel, sometimes the trail doesn't lead you to nature. It leads you straight into something watching you. Nature lover and adventurer Rob Hoff thought he was just filming a scenic hike near Pikes Peak in Colorado Springs.
This is a clip from one of my early trips up to take pictures of Pikes Peak. You can see in the upper left-hand corner, right in the trees there's a really weird shape.
But weeks later, while reviewing footage from the trip, he noticed something odd, something he definitely didn't see in real time. In the upper left corner of this frame, partially concealed by trees, was a dark humanoid figure. At first glance, of course, it could be anything. A shadow, an oddly positioned tree. But something about it didn't sit right. Rob could not shake this. He kept thinking about it. He decided he needed to investigate. When Rob arrived, though the woods looked the same, they felt completely different. Rob described an unease that wasn't there before.
Admittedly, this was my first time I've ever done something like this. I didn't know what I was looking for, but I figured I could maybe find something to give me some clues into what I saw.
As dusk settled in and the wildlife stirred, he stumbled upon something new. Footprints, massive ones. Rob even compared them to his size 13 shoes.
The 4 foot, look how big it is compared to I wear size 13 shoes.
And these prints dwarfed his own. Moving on through the day, that's when the woods got loud. Snaps, shifts, then silence. Rob called out, hoping for an animal response, but the only reply was the stillness pressing in around him. Rob ended the video with a bold move.
Is there somebody over there? Hello? What was that?
Striking a nearby tree with wood, just like he'd seen on old Bigfoot documentaries, hoping for a reply. The footage cuts off soon after, but his expression says it all. Something out there didn't want to be found. So, what do you think Rob encountered? Wildlife, or something lurking just beyond the tree line? When you return to the site of a Bigfoot encounter, sometimes it's still waiting for you. On July 17, 2020, a couple from Oregon returned to Lolo Pass near Mount Hood, exactly 1 year after seeing a towering 9-foot figure silently standing in a clearing. What began as a birthday celebration quickly turned into something much more intense.
Okay, I'm seeing what looks like a head and shoulders.
As they approached the same meadow where they'd seen the creature, a distinct knock echoed from the north side of the clearing. The trees were still, but the tension was thick. The camera slowly pans across the forest, and deep within the shadows, a tall black shape appears. Shoulders, then an arm, watching. The couple insists the figure was much larger and darker in person than it appears on camera. This doesn't do it justice.
So when we come back, I'll see if it's still there. But see this big tree right here? And then there's a tree about 50 feet back right there. Look straight between them.
Okay.
And there's something black standing there.
Skeptics might call it pareidolia, seeing shapes and shadows, but the fear in their voices is real. The man recounts how the 2019 sighting left him frozen for 10 full minutes, unable to move. At a nearby creek, they revisit the location where they previously found massive tracks. And once again, the figure in the tree hasn't left. Same stance, same chilling silence. This wasn't just deja vu, it was escalation. The sighting was reported to Bigfoot researcher Cliff Barrickman, who later hiked the trail. Cliff found tracks as well. He took photographs and even made plaster casts. Something had been there, something real. As the first day came to a close, they awaited on their second, and let me tell you that would not disappoint. The next day, rocks would be thrown, trees would break, and whatever was in that forest wasn't hiding anymore.
I could hear rocks cutting through the trees, and they were landing close to me.
This next photo, taken from Reddit, is a creepy Trailcam photo. I'm going to read the post. Alright, here's the full backstory with more detail as requested. This photo was shared with me by my friend, let's call him Joe. Joe was attending a wedding and having drinks with a friend he's known for 5 years plus. During the reception, Joe's friend got a motion alert from one of his game cameras. Curious, he pulled up the live feed on his phone, and this image is what appeared. Joe snapped a photo of the game cam image directly from his friend's phone screen. Both of them were pretty stunned, especially considering they were a few drinks in at the time. Joe told me his friend even showed him a map pinpointing where the camera was placed. According to him, the game cam is set up deep in private property, at least a mile from the nearest road. And the terrain is pretty cumbersome, so anyone reaching it on foot would have to do some serious bushwhacking to get there. Joe also made it clear that the friend didn't go around showing the image to everyone at the wedding. He only saw it because he happened to be standing there when the alert came in. After the photo arrived, they tried to go back to just enjoying the wedding. But Joe could tell that his friend was a little shaken up. He definitely wasn't the same. So from Joe's perspective, he thought, if this is a prank, like why would he just play the joke on me? You know, it seems like a pretty elaborate joke to just play on a single person, especially when you have all of these people at this wedding at your disposal. He could have run around just showing it to everybody, going for peak maximum attention, but it doesn't seem that was the case. Now, a lot of commenters are saying that this is just a ghillie suit, and honestly, that's kind of what it looks like to me. And if we go down that avenue, what's a guy doing in the ghillie suit? I mean, it doesn't look like a Bigfoot to me, but also, what's this guy doing on my property in a ghillie suit? That's pretty weird and scary and sketchy. If this really is a hoax, it's a pretty convincing one. Check this clip out. This thing follows him all the way home. So when that cat is following that man on that dock, it reminded me of something which isn't nearly as scary as this. I left some bait on a dock at this place, and I went out to get it with my flashlight in hand just so I didn't fall. And I encountered just a little raccoon. But that raccoon was going to fight for its life. And it scared the ever-living crap out of me. So, I can't imagine had that guy turned around and seen this mountain lion stalking him, how that would have felt. Okay, now I'm being told this is fake. Or that this is two different lions, or that this lion is this guy's pet. What the? I'm over here telling a story about a personal experience and this isn't even real. What do we think? Is this real, fake? I guess it could be fake. I mean, that lion's just gonna attack the guy, right? I mean, that's what they do. But then the people that are saying this is his pet, I mean, come on, what are we talking about? Anyway, let me know what you think. Jeez. In a quiet studio, a girl sets up her phone and starts filming herself. The space is simple, just her, a massive wall mirror, and an empty room. Something she's done 100 times. Everything's routine, but then it isn't. As she turns toward the mirror and bends down to grab something flickers in the background. A dark figure, barely visible at first, appears in the reflection near the doorway. It grabs her attention. She freezes, then bolts. In the exact moment she turns to face it, the figure vanishes, gone. No sound, no shadow, just out of there. Some viewers say it could be a stalker, someone hiding and slipping away just in time. Others claim the figure's shape and movement were unnatural, more specter than intruder. It didn't want to be seen directly.
So, this is a trade board, and I'm going to...
I don't know, these mirror videos kind of freak me out. Have you ever seen something in a mirror that really wasn't there? And if so, how did you react? Because I think I know how I would react. In the shadowy world of government secrets and UFO disclosures, one thing keeps surfacing. Claims that alien life has already been recovered. And now a brand new video is circulating, released in May of 2025. It appears to show what many are calling a real extraterrestrial body. In the footage, a gray mummified figure lies still, its body shriveled, skin dry and leathery like it's been buried for centuries. But it's the face that really unsettles people. Closed, bulging eyes, elongated features, and a mouth lined with yellow, uneven teeth. Doesn't move, doesn't blink, but looks disturbingly real. Some point to a similar event from years ago where a so-called alien body was presented at a government hearing, which was only to be debunked as non-alien remains. Could this new video be more of the same? Is this a prop from a movie? Is it an art piece? Could it actually be the real thing? Experts haven't weighed in yet, and the silence is only adding fuel to the mystery. Well, I'll be damned, it ain't every day you get robbed by a man on horseback. Well, that's what happened to this lady in Pakistan. Look at her. I mean, she's like, okay, yeah, go ahead and take it. She's like, did that really just happen? One of the commenters said that this is an 18-year-old boy who's riding around robbing people, call himself Cowboy, the cowboy of Pakistan. This next still image taken from a nanny cam at 2 a.m. is downright freaky. I mean, look at this thing. Here's what gets me. People are going to say, oh, that's pareidolia, that's pareidolia. Is it? Why? Says who? The pareidolia people are almost as bad as the AI people. Anyway. Come on, that's a body. That's a body. Grandma got up. I don't know if Grandma's alive, but she doesn't look it. Dang, it almost looks like this thing has horns too. And like a glowing eyeball. But anyway, look at, when I was going through this, I was looking through some of the comments too. Check this out. This one guy says, when I was a kid around 11 years old, my sister and I shared the same room. She was sleeping at a friend's that night, and I woke up around 2 a.m. The room was pitch black. I look over toward my sister's bed, and I see a humanoid figure laying on its back on my sister's bed. Did not look quite human. All I could see was the outline, and it was glowing a faint green color. I yelled out to my father, whose bedroom was down the hall. I could hear him scrambling to get out of bed, saying, what's the matter?" as he's running down the hall in the dark because the light switch for the hallway was near my bedroom. The figure was still on the bed as my father was scrambling to reach my room. As soon as he flicked on the light switch, the figure disappeared. Very strange and freaky experience. I know I was awake from sleeping, but this thing still stayed on my sister's bed, even though my father was making all kinds of noise running to my room. Weird stuff. Another one says, Mediocre Sumo says, "I've seen something like this as a kid. It slowly got up to bed and turned its head to me, ran to my grandmother's arms and looked back, and that thing started walking towards me. I yelled. My grandma saw nothing, so I turned my head to see again and it was gone. Frankly, I just assumed I was still half asleep and seeing things, but it's odd I still have a very clear memory of it all." I've seen something similar, except it was during the night. Me and someone else were walking past her. People can't write at all. Passed through the forest, passing a house that had been left empty for a while. We were wading through the long grass back up the hill, and I saw a figure similar to this, except it was holding a long walking stick that was higher than the figure was. I was freaking out, and this thing was moving through the grass smoothly as if it was hovering. I was telling the person I was with about and freaking out and trying to move us faster out till we were running as we ran, and I kept looking back as it was getting faster and faster, nearly catching up to us. It just floated and chased us up the hill through the grass, and just as we had reached the road, we just gunned it, and it wasn't gone and didn't follow. But yeah, same thing. I could see it and they could not. But it was clear as day, and it was bright with silhouette, just like this. Pretty sure this guy was on acid. Yeah. When he wrote this and when he saw this. So, anyway, the very first picture I showed you, creepy. Like, let me know. Have you guys ever seen anything like that in the room? I mean, we're talking about a nanny cam. That means kids are involved. No way. I'm out. Normally, I don't even really click on these, but this one sucked me in, so. But look at these pictures of these girls just taking a nice photo. And we zoom into the background and have fun sleeping tonight. And this one even freaks me out. Maybe it's just my eyes playing tricks on me, but I don't know. Caught on CCTV footage on a busy British city camera. This clip had the worker almost jump out of his skin. He said it's super grainy because he tried to enhance it, but he has never seen anything like this on any of his cameras. They are very high-tech cameras, and he doesn't know. There's not normally glitches or any lag. He doesn't know what this is. A hunter from Idaho captured this incredible footage while hunting mule deer. He actually took the footage with his cell phone through his spotting scope while he was spotting deer from the top of a mountain. Okay, so the deer closest to us is the one we're honed in on, and just under the deer, 20-30 feet, on the screen is the bobcat that is stealthily creeping up behind this deer. I'll let you watch from here. Okay, so a few things. It's crazy how close the cat gets. I can't believe how quietly he snuck up behind the deer. I mean, everyone watching this knows how skittish deer can be. He gets inches away and you can tell that the deer never saw him coming. Another thing to mention is, how did none of the herd have any idea that that cat was in the area? I mean, obviously they didn't smell him. Maybe he was just bedded down in there perfectly. I don't know. Quite the brawl ensued as the deer is fighting for its life. Look at the ground they had covered as they wrestle and tumble through the woods. It's unbelievable. Here's another look at the video with better clarity. It's zoomed in a bit. After you watch it, let me know in the comments what you think. I mean, this is some of the coolest footage I've ever seen. This next clip offers an exceptional and informative peek into the nocturnal behaviors of crocodiles in their natural surroundings. As you can see, after hunting, they're consuming their prey in the water. The footage highlights the astounding strength and savagery of these prehistoric reptiles. Recognized as one of the planet's most formidable creatures, this video is a strong affirmation of the crocodile's predatory prowess. I mean, this clip delivers a remarkable viewing experience, but also underlines the significance of treating wildlife with respect in their natural habitats. Over the years, footage of crocodiles in their natural environments has intrigued and bewitched viewers globally. This video adds a distinctive viewpoint, illuminating the habits and routines of crocodiles amidst the night's gloom in the forest. Man, this video stands as a profound reminder of the awe-evoking power of the natural world. And yes, still, in my opinion, crocodiles and alligators are the scariest creatures on the planet. So check this out. Two bobcats have spotted each other from afar and they start calling out like crazy. As they gradually draw near each other, their gazes remain firmly locked, accompanied by a continuous rumbling growl. They adopt these peculiar stances, with their tails swiftly flickering back and forth. The larger of the two, commonly referred to as the great cat, happens to be the female, while we see the male sporting a distinctive reddish coat. It's pretty cool that someone caught this interaction on their trail camera, as we all know bobcats tend to stay out of sight. And to boot, this footage was actually taken on Valentine's Day. When it comes to physical displays, bobcats may exhibit various behaviors, such as posturing, tail twitching, and other forms of body language that indicate their readiness to mate. Male bobcats have been known to greatly increase the amount of territory they cover when looking for a potential mate, hoping to come across a female in her own territory. Great camera footage, and I say for now, we'll leave these two lovebirds be. A healthcare professional and outdoor enthusiast from Canada has caught on camera an event she described only as two witches performing a flesh-eating ceremony. She caught all of this on a trail camera she installed near her house. "I can't make heads or tails of what's going on," said Karina Stanhope, 36, from Powell River, British Columbia. "It scared the living daylights out of us. It's not an everyday sight." Upon finding a dead deer in her garden on her land, Stanhope said she thought it was odd, but also presented a cool opportunity to see what might come feed on it. She rigged the camera up and waited. There was a bobcat that visited, which was cool, but what came next blew her mind and her grandfather's mind. When she called him over to review the footage, they thought their eyes were playing tricks on them. Not one, but two naked women feasting on the dead deer carcass just as it turned dark. Yes, you heard that correctly. They were eating the dead deer. Stanhope reported that the individuals arrived roughly 10 minutes following sundown to consume parts of the deer carcass. She told the media that the apparent flesh eaters appeared disheveled, and it almost looked like they were donning wigs. Quote, "It's not quite clear from the images, but the hoof was brought directly to her mouth," she said. "I'm unsure if she was kissing it or sniffing or consuming it, but the idea of touching a decaying carcass like that nauseates me. The bacterial load must have been immense. Her grandfather thinks that the individuals were definitely eating the carcass, but I think he was more hung up that they were naked, saying perhaps they were paying tribute, but they were unclothed. Stanhope acknowledged that she felt disturbed because the event happened just a short 2-minute stroll from her house and that she was afraid about the well-being of her horses. I was worried about them interfering with my horses at night. The horses have always seemed quite edgy and uneasy around that area. At first I thought they were just imagining things, so I disregarded it. Maybe now I'm inclined to believe them. The nurse is hopeful that the incident was merely a practical joke or that the participants were on some potent substances. She opted not to notify the police after her grandfather noted that nothing explicitly illegal had really taken place. The internet buzzed when Stanhope uploaded the photos, with some viewers suggesting it was a joke, while others speculated about satanic or other supernatural involvement. "That's essentially a strolling devil from hell," one user wrote. "If you hear shrieking, stay indoors and grab a firearm, and make sure you leave it be." More than a few proposed that the figures were skinwalkers or wendigos, both of which are harmful entities linked with Native American legends. I'll tell you what, no matter who or what they are, this footage and the story in general are pretty crazy. What are you guys doing if these two show up on your trail cameras? Let me know. Capable of stretching up to an astounding 30 feet in length, the dimensions of anacondas are extraordinary. A striking example of their magnitude was caught on a trail camera, showcasing the immense power of these creatures. In the recorded scene, an anaconda tries to scale a tree, but of course the tree can't handle the weight of this massive serpent. I mean, this thing looks like something out of a movie. You can't help but be amazed by it. On average, adult female anacondas typically reach lengths of around 15 to 20 feet and can weigh between 200 and 300 pounds. However, exceptionally large individuals have been recorded, with some reports claiming weights of up to 550 pounds, or 250 kilos. Snakes that big also have the potential to reach lengths of over 25 feet. Male anacondas are generally smaller than females, averaging around 9 to 12 feet in length and weighing around 100 to 150 pounds. I don't care which gender it is. I'm not interested in running into either one of these in the wild. Just extraordinary creatures. A field researcher embarked on an intriguing experiment to understand how bears interact with technology. His aim was to find ways to deter bears from human-populated areas, thus minimizing unnecessary contact between humans and these large mammals. To achieve this, he decided to use a roadkill deer carcass as bait, to which he would run electricity, hoping to deter any approaching bear. To carry out this experiment, he suspended the deer carcass from a makeshift contraption and attached a battery-powered fence energizer to it. Soon, a bear approached the carcass with caution. After taking a few tentative nibbles, the bear was shocked by the electricity and ran away. However, as night fell, the bear returned, now more hesitant than before. Once again, it approached the carcass, got shocked, and ran off. You might think that this repeated shock treatment would deter the bear permanently, but that's far from what happened. Bears, as it turns out, are incredibly persistent creatures. Even after getting shocked twice, the bear made a third attempt. On high alert, it couldn't ignore the sight and smell of the dead deer hanging before its eyes. What happened next was a testament to the bear's intelligence and strength. The bear managed to disconnect the electricity with its paws, tearing down the entire contraption. The wooden stand that held the carcass was ripped apart, showcasing the immense power of the bear. Unsurprisingly, the bear made off with the deer, reinforcing the notion that bears are extraordinarily persistent beings. So picture this, two buddies are just cruising down this lonely stretch of highway when they spot this man just lying there by the road. No shirt on, just jeans, definitely sketchy. They pull over, not sure what they're about to walk into. They're not even sure the guy's alive. They yell out to him but get no answer. By the time they walk up, he's stood up. He's a bit wobbly. The guys are filming and talking to him, and let me tell you, something's clearly not right with him. He's mumbling some stuff incoherently. Then, Out of nowhere, the guy moans and starts dragging himself up the embankment. You ever see one of those zombie movies? Or heard about someone partying a little too hard, totally out of it? That's what this guy's acting like. Completely out of this world. It really freaked the guys out. The man crawling doesn't even seem to care or notice the branches scratching his bare skin as he crawls up. Just keeps going, eyes blank. It's like a scene from a nightmare, honestly. The buddies, they've seen enough. They bolt back to their truck, peel out of there like bats out of hell. And as they're driving away, they can't shake the image of that guy. They keep asking themselves if that was someone just high on drugs, or maybe was he something far scarier. Each journey deeper into the wilderness lends the possibility of a peculiar sight. And our latest venture has thrown up a truly baffling figure. I covered a very similar topic briefly in the last video. A brown, hairy creature emerges from the river, holding a smaller creature in its grasp. At first glance, it's a sight that we only recognize as the legendary Bigfoot. And as we all know, any mention of his name instantly sparks a debate. One of the most notable incidents that this image echoes was caught on film in the 1960s by Roger Patterson and Robert Gimlin near Bluff Creek, California. The footage, often referred to as the Patterson-Gimlin film, supposedly shows a Bigfoot moving across a clearing, and to this day it's considered one of the most compelling pieces of evidence supporting the existence of Bigfoot. Now, in regards to our image, the interpretations vary wildly. Some say it could be a burly fisherman, kitted out with a wide array of fishing gear and waders, but the sight of the smaller creature in its arms has stirred up another theory. Could this be an elusive Bigfoot, perhaps even carrying a baby Bigfoot? I mean, the figure in our picture does have a distinctly non-human appearance, so we can't rule out the possibility of it being something quite out of the ordinary. But the way it moves does look more human, I have to admit that. As always, it's up to you to draw your own conclusions, but please let me know what you think. Is it an angler with an impressive haul, or a glimpse of the elusive Bigfoot in a tender familial moment? The bobcat and coyote, both indigenous carnivores of North America, share similar habitats, which leads to sporadic clashes between these two species. These conflicts often stem from resource competition, particularly over food. In this video clip, we observe a bobcat trying to dissuade a coyote from reaching its meal. The bobcat aims to commandeer the coyote's food, a frequent strategy among this species. However, the unusual part is that this behavior has been going on for over a week. The bobcat has been persistently tormenting the coyote, obstructing it from getting its food. As the footage shows, the coyote isn't intimidated. He holds firm and isn't going to give this up, at least not easily. The bobcat, sensing the coyote isn't going to ever fully leave his prey and retreat, seemingly decides that the juice isn't worth the squeeze in this situation and heads off in the other direction. Such interactions are typical in forests where animals are required to compete for scarce resources. That's not really the phenomenal part. It's the fact that these two have been dueling for over a week. I wonder if that means that the prey in the area is scarce, that this kill is such a prize that it garners the attention of two predators. Or if the bobcat's just being opportunistic. Anyhow, observing these events is captivating as they offer an insight into the intricate dynamics of the natural world. Really, really cool. This next clip is a heartwarming, intense documentation of a mother elephant's love and sacrifice for her calf. In an attempt to keep her baby, who was trapped in a pit, alive, the mother elephant trapped herself in the same pit. Without any concern for her own safety, she chose to kneel in the pit to breastfeed her calf, a position she maintained for 3 days and 2 nights. The sight moved the rescuers to tears, who attempted to coax the mother elephant out of the pit, only to realize that she was too weak to move now. She had exhausted all her energy caring for her calf, and now her life was also in danger. Rescue efforts were swiftly mobilized. The team used a large crane to lift the female elephant from the pit. However, the situation was dire. The mother was not breathing and unresponsive. As they tried to resuscitate her, the calf, witnessing its mother lying motionless, desperately tried to reach her, but was still trapped in the pit. Its heart-wrenching cries echoed around the pit, revealing the deep bond between the mother and child. The rescuers continued their efforts to save the mother elephant, while others helped the calf to escape the pit. The mother's heartbeat had stopped, but the team refused to give up. They tirelessly performed CPR on her. The scene made all the more emotional by the steady rain from the sky. Meanwhile, the calf, having been helped out of the pit, slowly approached its mother. In an absolute miracle moment that moved everyone present, the mother elephant's heartbeat returned. She snapped out of it. She stood up, much to the joy and relief of all the rescuers. The mother and calf reunion was a touching scene. After a while, the mother elephant led her calf towards the forest, pausing to seemingly express her gratitude to the rescuers before disappearing into the wilderness. Man, what an amazing video. Just an awesome message about the selflessness and greatness of maternal love. This next eerie and bizarre trail camera footage has led us to a creature that at first glance resembles a dog. Yet its unusual appearance has sparked speculation of it being a chupacabra. One such incident that fueled these theories occurred in Texas in 2007, where a rancher discovered a strange, hairless, dog-like creature feasting on her livestock. The unusual animal was promptly dubbed a chupacabra, further stirring the folklore surrounding this creature. The term chupacabra is Spanish and translates to goat sucker, which originates from the creature's reported habit of feeding on livestock, particularly goats. You can't miss its long, lean body and an extended tail, features that are commonly associated with descriptions of chupacabras. It's interesting to note that chupacabra's first sightings were reported in Puerto Rico in the mid-1990s. Since then, sightings have been reported as far north as Maine and as far south as Chile. However, many supposed chupacabra sightings often turn out to be misidentified wildlife, particularly canids afflicted with mange, a skin condition that results in hair loss and the thickening of skin. Whether the figure captured on our trail camera is a chupacabra or not, it certainly adds to the mystique and enduring appeal of these unexplained phenomena. Let me know what you guys think this could be.